I mean, I mentioned before, we haven't created anything. So you don't know what I'm about to do now. Have you ever seen one of these? Good, it's an invisible skull. I've never seen it. So are you okay with blood and needles and everything? Okay. I'm just going to use this invisible skull. Just relax. And I'm just going to make an incision. Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to look. It's fine. Now, I'm going to grab one of these. This is a break. And you feel it? How does it feel? It's heavy. It's heavy, it's heavy, right? A little bit. I mean, it's full of bricks, right? It's heavy. It's fine. It's okay. Don't worry. I'm going to try one more thing. I have this. It's a bar. It's a bar. I'm just going to. That's not like this. You bend it. I know it's really hard. This is the bright side. It's crazy. It's fine. I'm not letting you like this. Thank you for agreeing to this. Just personal question. Did you get your vaccine? I did. It's fine. So you have a microchip already. Yeah. So I want you to stand like this. Did you need to Bluetooth connect? Okay. Relax your phone. I think they're connected. Now relax your hand. Now tell me what you're thinking. What do you think you want to do? Right? Because they're connected. That is very, very normal. Right? Because we're connected. Nice, relax now like this. Okay, I'm just gonna. Okay, it's disconnected. And you should be good to go. Woo! Side effects only last a couple of hours. Okay, come. Please go.
Alright, welcome back to Magic Isn't Real, the YouTube channel that maybe is going to have to change its name. Yes, you heard it correctly. Recently, I have experienced something that to me was the closest thing to actual real magic. Let me explain. Magic is supposed to be something that is beyond the realm of possibility, something that it's impossible or should be impossible, therefore magical. Something that some people will say we don't understand it, and because we don't understand it, therefore is magic. As a magician, that's the goal you want to have. If I create an effect or if I perform an effect, it has to be an effect that makes it look like something that is beyond the realm of physics and the realm of like possibilities. That's what makes it magical. An illusion is magical only if it seems to appear like something that should not happen at all, according to the laws of physics that we have in this planet, in this universe, in this reality. Obviously, me performing an effect means that I know how that effect works, and I know that it's not impossible, it's real. I know exactly how it works. I understand how it works. That's how I'm able to perform it for someone and to make it look like something is possible. Now, one of the coolest thing about being a magician is that there are way more talented magicians than you who are creating effects, and then they're so kind to sell it to you or sometimes even give it to you for free so you can also perform it. And yes, that is the coolest thing, because all you gotta do is just like learn, understand it, and perform it at the best of your capability to entertain an audience. As a magician, I buy a lot of effect from a lot of different magic websites or magicians. You know, every time I encounter a magician, I always try to see if they can teach me something new, and also I try to see if I can teach them something, you know, that I have created, of like, or maybe a variation on something that already exists that I perform in a certain way. There's always this kind of exchange, and it's like truly beautiful. Now, let me say something like very important. Over the years, I've bought things that honestly were not that great. I've spent so much money on effects that I would never use. Sometimes it's because the effect is not really that great. Sometimes it's just because the effect just doesn't suit me at all. Like there's no way I can make it work according to maybe my persona or according to my skill set, or even sometimes according to the kind of places that I perform. Like some effects like work really well on a stage, you know, with proper lighting and like music and whatever. Some other effects work really well on a restaurant environment as a close-up situation. You just go hopping table to table and you show them something. So throughout my career as a magician, I found myself buying effects that were truly awful or that I simply cannot use, which brings me to this. Like, it appears that some of you think that I have some sort of hatred towards the people that do the supernatural. I'm targeting people who believe in telekinesis or remote viewing, or like you guys think that I woke up with this hanger inside me, and that's why I make so many videos like calling out to the frauds and the scams. And I'm like, that's not it. I am a skeptical person, and I'm skeptical about pretty much everything that I encounter in my life, including my very own craft, which is magic. Since I spent so much money buying magic effects that I never use, I became more skeptical, especially with the fact that, let's be honest, this magic site, they have to sell. That's their job. They have to sell effect. This is how they make their money, which means that sometimes, I'm not pointing finger at anybody, by the way. I'm not calling anybody out. I understand that you have to sell a product, and I understand that to sell a product, you need to sell a product. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to oversell it. You're gonna have to make it look as if this is the best product ever. And now sometimes it's possible that some magic company or magician, they cross the line a little bit, they oversell things, and this is what makes me really suspicious. Like when I hear stuff like, oh, this works everywhere, instant reset, minimum sleight of hand require, it works right out of the box, I always get suspicious with this kind of stuff, because let's be honest, it's a magic trick. Even if you say minimum sleight of hand required, there's gonna be some sleight of hand required, and if someone is not familiar with any sorts of like sleight of hand technique, there might be a problem. Instant reset also, what does that mean? Like, is it ready to go off the bat? Like, anyway, I don't want to go into a whole like review of magic products and whatever. All I'm saying is that over the years, I became very skeptical on how these magic products are sold specifically to me, because otherwise I'm gonna buy them all and then I'm gonna have to declare bankruptcy and I'm gonna have to quit magic altogether and go live under a bridge. So I really have to target what it is that I buy. I finally figured out that I have a certain style, that there's certain effects that I like to use, and I try to go for those. Also, because I live in South Africa, shipment it's a nightmare. So anything that it's a gimmick or something that it's a physical product that has to come to me, it's gonna cost me like twice as much, so I tend to avoid those. So over the years, I just kind of aimed at effects that are as simple and personal as possible. Effects that you can do no matter the situation, no matter the location, the lighting, the who's watching from what angle. I try to make it as simple as possible, and I try to look at effects that I can carry with me at any moment. So I'm looking for effects that I can do anytime, anywhere. I stumbled across an effect called Psychic Surgery by Aaron Alexander. When I saw the trailer, I gotta tell you, I was incredibly suspicious about this effect, because it seemed to not require anything at all. No gimmick, no sleight of hand, and yet the effect from the trailer seems so impossible. I was like, this seems to be, if everything that they say in the trailer is correct, this seems to be something that maybe he's gonna require you like 10 years of practice before you can nail it. So I was very suspicious, but at the same time, I looked at the reviews, and the thing that caught my attention is that a lot of reviews were saying this is the closest thing to actual magic you'll ever perform. As an illusionist, that's, yes, please. That's what I wanted. I bought it, and if you want to get it, by the way, it's called Psychic Surgeries from Aaron Alexander. You can find it at illusionist.com. This isn't a sponsored video. YouTube, don't freak out. I'm just saying this is where you can find it. I'm gonna try to put a link down below if you want to get it. Get it. It's literally is the closest thing to real magic you'll ever do. And let me explain why it is the closest thing to real magic that you'll ever do. I watched the tutorial, which is fantastic. It's actually, I think it's like a couple of hours. So it's very detailed. It goes through all the little steps you gotta do. And yet, even after watching the tutorial, I was like, this will never work. I was skeptical. I was like, this is not going to work. I wasted my time and my money one more time. I bought something that I'm never going to use. What the hell? And then, since this year, I've been performing a lot. And there's a lot of people who keep on coming to my performances like multiple times. And I don't want to give them the same tricks every time. I always look for something new. I always try to give, if it's the same audience member, I always try to give them something different, something they haven't seen before. And because I performed so much this year, I pretty much ran out of things to perform. I was just scrolling to all the materials that I have and all the tutorials, and Psychic Surgery popped, and I was like, what the hell? Let's give it a shot. And so I decided to perform it at my last show, and it worked. It simply worked. And what makes it almost real magic to me is that I still don't know why it works. I literally performed something that I don't understand, and it worked. It's like I've learned a magic spell and I just did it and it worked. And listen, I'm not saying that it is real magic. I'm sure that the guy who created it can probably break it down properly. I'm sure that it's a psychological, neurological, like if we go like a neuroscience scientist can probably explain to me why this works. But from my point of view, I performed something that I don't understand how it works, and it worked. I'm telling you, it's one of the closest thing I've ever seen to like real magic. So thank you so much, Aaron Alexander. And I know that you have a book full of this kind of effects, and I'm gonna try to get that book, because if all the effects are like that, I don't know, like you should be way more popular than you already are, because these effects are, well, that effect that I perform is incredible. Oh, and by the way, if you want to watch my full performance of this effect with no edits, just completely unedited from 2 different camera angles, you can go to my Patreon and join the lowest tier. And speaking of selling magic products, my Patreon is full of like tricks that I have performed on this channel and tricks that I have performed outside of this channel, and those are the ones that I'm kind of allowed to teach to you, the one that I have created, or there are like different kind of variation of already existing methods that I come up with and I want to teach to you. And if you're gonna learn like magic from me, I just want to tell you that I'm always gonna be like super honest about it. And if it's an effect that I think only works better for camera, I will tell you right off the bat. If it's an effect that doesn't really work well on camera and you should just do it for people, I would also tell you. So if you want to support me in any way, the Patreon page is right there. And if you also want to see some behind the scenes from this videos and what happens behind the curtains and you know, the bloopers, things that I don't put in the normal YouTube videos, you can find it over there. As well as if you want to have a one-on-one chat with me, that is also an option that is on my Patreon, and you can do with that whatever you want. Like if you want to insult me for like an hour, as long as you pay, I'm good with that. Why did I make this video today? What's the point of all of this besides praising this man for creating this effect and thanking him so much for sharing it with everybody else? Magic is a matter of perspective. It's a matter of how you perceive something, and that's what makes it real to someone personally. But unfortunately, this channel is trying to stop some scams and fraudster, which means that I have to bring this concept of personal experience and this concept of like perception of reality. I unfortunately have to bring it to the actual real world, the actual basis of the real physics world, which means that I have to say that magic isn't real, because objectively it's not. If magic is something that is beyond the realm of possibilities, then by definition it's something that is not real. The channel has to go in that direction because that's the mission of the channel, but that doesn't mean that I am attacking your personal experiences with magic. Those are yours. Those are yours, and they're unique yours. And if they make you feel good and they make you feel happy and they make you feel better about life in general, please keep on having them, keep on believing in them. I just don't want you to fall for certain scams and frauds who will try to convince you that, oh, magic is real, not just the one that you perceive yourself. Objectively, magic exists. I'm a skeptic in everything. I'm a skeptic. That's my life. Is it exhausting? Yes, but that's the choice I've made, and I'll stand by it. So don't take the name magic isn't real, or the concept of magic isn't real, or the investigations that I'm doing. Don't take them personally. It's nothing personal. It never was, and it never will be. If you want to talk about personal things, we can go out, have a beer. I'll show you a couple of magic tricks, and we'll go from there. All right, and that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, doing all the things that you do. If you're not new to this channel, I thank you. Thank you so much for staying. I wanted to quit this channel like a year ago, but thanks to you guys, I decided to keep it going. And now we're gonna move forward in this more like upbeat type of videos where I try to maybe even bring, like, if some of you is in, actually, you know what, if you're still here and you're still watching, let me know in the comment section if you would like for me to review magic product as well, or like review magic performances. That could be interesting. You know, like there's like Penn and Teller Fool Us, or like if you see something online, oh, what do you think of this magician? I would love to also do some of those, just to give a little bit of a variety of content. So if you want me to do more reviews in terms of magic products or like magic performances, let me know. It will be fantastic. I would love to do that. But if not, I'll keep it with the classic content. There's more stuff coming up. I'm gonna try to make these videos as fast as I can. So I appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.